In this video, I'm going to go over the addition of the topography for the site. So I'm going to start by going to the site plan. And there I'm going to go to Massing and Site and go to Toposolid. Okay, so I'm going to set the height for this. I'll leave it at level 1 for now. And I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm not picking any points in particular, but generally speaking, I'm just trying to make this so that it kind of includes all 4 of those structures and that there's some space around, and I'll click on the check mark. Okay, so you're going to see you get these messages about overlaps, and that's fine. We will kind of deal with some of those issues as we move along here. All right, so I've got section number 1, which is the longitudinal section. And from there, I can see that there is this topographic surface. Now, it's been placed directly below level 1, and it also, by default, has a thickness of 1 foot. So I'm going to click on Edit Type, and I'm going to go to the structure here. And instead of making it 1 foot, I'm going to make it 15 and click on OK. And again, you're going to see that message appears periodically. All right, so there we have it. And we just want to make sure that we're getting enough coverage for the foundations. Okay, now the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make it minus 0 feet 6 inches and apply. Okay, now why am I making it minus 6? Well, basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a high point for the site at this structure. This is the one that's the slab on grade, and we've only gotten these thickened slabs. But from there, my topography is going to pitch downward. And in this case, for the structure on the right, the heavy timber one, that's, the structure is sitting on these caissons, they're going to be, the topography needs to drop quite low so that the whole thing is elevated above the ground. Okay, so right now the earth pattern is not showing. And so what I want to do is go over to the properties here. I don't have anything selected. I'm going to click on Edit Visibility Graphics, and I'm going to scroll down to Toposolid. You can ignore this one. I was playing with the settings here. What I want to do is change, actually this should be no override. So okay. Here, we're going to click there, and then for the foreground, you want to change it to earth and say okay, and apply and okay. All right, so now you should get a little bit of texture in there for your topography. Okay, now, so, we'll make some changes here for the heights of things, but before I go and do that, I just want to take a look at some of these details. So right here, we have like a rim board and a sill plate, and at the moment, the topography is coming up too high. I need to bring that down some distance. So I'm basically going to measure some of these and write down these numbers. So from the top of the foundation to that level 1 is about 1.5. And I want to have, maybe 6 inches or so of the foundation above the grade. So, maybe I'm going a little bit bigger than I need to, but I'm going to make it 2 feet at this point. And then when I get over to this side, I'm basically going to have a high point over here, and I'll begin a slope. This one I'll make 2 feet 6 inches. When we get into this structure, I'll go down minus 3 feet 6. And then when we go over here to where the caissons are, I'm going to go a lot lower. I'm going to go from this -6 down to -5 and then -6 feet at the other side of this. So I'll go back to my site plan. I'm going to click on it. And when I do that, I'll get the option to modify sub-properties. I'll click on add point. Okay, and from here, I want to leave this absolute checked. And what I'm going to do is start adding points that allow me to drop the topography. So -2 feet. And what I'll do is I'll make a point here and another point across the way here. These don't have to be perfectly accurate. We are just trying to get a reasonable pitch to the topography. I'll do one here. So I just changed it to 2 feet 6 and 2 feet 6 here. Okay, and I'll change this value now to -3 feet. And we'll go here and roughly here. And I'll change the next one to -3 feet 6. Here, over here. Okay, now for these ones down at the bottom, I probably need to bring it down to 4 feet so it doesn't just flatten out at the, or go back up to -6, what I started with. Okay, now I'll start to work in the other direction. But I think what I'll do here is, I hadn't planned on this. Remember that this is -6 everywhere is where I started, and I want this to be -6 across here. But I'm going to make a high point. I'm going to actually add points here. Okay, and then another one here. And then I'll just make an ever so slight pitch to over here. Now, again, I don't want the underside of that thickened slab to show, but I do want there to be some slope. So I'm going to say -8 and go here and here, and also on this side and this side. Okay. And now as I go over to that fourth structure, I'm going to say -5 feet. Oops, what did I do? -5 feet. And I'll click here and here. And unfortunately, you don't get any kind of visual to know that you're kind of on the right track with this. You just kind of add all of this stuff, and then at the end, you can look at how it is and determine if you have to make any changes. Okay, so just to review, the middle of this structure, I made -6, and then I went -8, -2, -2, 6, -3, -3, 6, down to 4, and going in the opposite direction from this high point to -8. This one was -5. You can see it's giving you previews of those values. Okay, so now I'm going to go to click on Edit Sketch and hit the check mark. And I'm going to say don't attach. You'll get that message a few times. Now let's see, if I go to section number 1, what does my slope look like and how is its relationship to all the foundation walls? Yeah, so we have a nice pitch here. None of the wood is exposed to the ground. Okay. And, you know, maybe this one could have gone down a little bit lower, but I think that kind of illustrates the point. We just want to have some of our caissons above the grade level. Okay, I'm going to go to the 3D view, and there you can see that there are some contour lines generated. Okay, and just, you know, one last thing that we can do, if you click on your Toposolid and you edit the type and you go to structure here, no, we don't want to change that. We want to do the contour display. You know, right now it's giving intervals of 5 feet, but, you know, we could make this, let's say 1 foot or 2 feet. And, you know, just for that first, the primary contours, and you'll also see the secondary ones, but apply and okay. Let's see what happened there. 2 feet, apply, okay, apply, okay. Let's go to the site plan. Okay. Okay, so what I did was I actually dropped it a little bit more. I made it 1 foot and 6 inches and apply and okay. And you can sort of see, because I hadn't set it to 6 inches, we weren't seeing those finer ones. Okay, so that's that part.